Hey, welcome to a new video. Let's take a good look at some recordings of the infamous Watts family house, captured by various body cams from police officers and the county's search team. This incident took place on August 13, 2018, when Chris Watts attempted to cover up the horrific events that occurred in his house. Some believe that these events may be related to Shanann Watts and her two daughters. Other viewers claim to see one of the daughters in the spirit form at the top of the stairs as the search team enters the living room. Shortly after this sighting, an EVP was recorded, in which a voice seems to say, "Come out alive," followed by an unknown female voice whispering, "No." Two police officers entered a closet, which turned out to be a wardrobe in one of the bedrooms. And there they reported hearing giggling, seemingly from young children. The next night, neighbors reported seeing a woman enter the Watts family home, once again captured by a security camera. What's particularly perplexing is that she seemingly never left the house, and the officers also saw that the lights in the garage were on. While some team members went upstairs to see if anyone was inside, viewers claimed to see a figure peeking from behind one of the officers. As one officer kept an eye on the dining room, he saw a shadow quickly move from right to left, while other viewers reported seeing a shadow on a chair and noticed unusual activity.
Are you new to this channel? Make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell. And before we start, also like the video.
A supposed poltergeist was caught on security camera footage in the Jamaica Inn, a well-known haunted pub in Cornwall, England. Local reports suggest the ghost in question is Jack, a sailor who was said to have died more than a century ago on the nearby moorland. In the recently surfaced footage, a glass mysteriously tips over, sparking speculation about the presence of supernatural activity. The pub's manager acknowledges the Jamaica Inn's reputation for ghostly encounters and attributes these mischievous incidents to Jack. She tells the story of Jack's supposed murder on the moor. Another piece of surveillance footage reveals further unexplained events inside the bar, with a phone appearing to jump off the hook on its own. His tricks continue. Broken glasses, spilled pints, and generally scaring people. The local folklore surrounding Jack's ghost has persisted for generations, with stories of his wanderings through the inn and the surrounding moorland.
If the companies that made baby monitors were to advertise their cameras, this fully possessed baby would be the last photo they'd use. However, this wasn't the only time a possessed baby was captured on camera. In this photo, we see a baby standing outside of his crib, and the mother mentioned that her child was softly singing in a creepy tone. But it can get even creepier. In this photo, we see a baby with a demonic look that, according to most people in the comments, appears 100% possessed. Everyone, including the mother, agreed that he looked possessed. Some even told his mother to have his son rebaptized. We've talked before about the spookiest train in the world, but now we're going to show you the spookiest train station in the world. Indeed, the scariest place to travel by train is Beijing train station, located in India. The station has been in ruins for more than 50 years and was reopened in 2009. But it wasn't long before that it was closed again. But what was the reason behind it? According to myth, a mysterious spirit woman in a white dress walks along the tracks of the train station. According to the story, it could be the spirit of Lachan Kumari, a queen of the Santo tribe who donated much of her land to the railroads to help her people survive.
On September 14, 2003, the security manager on duty at the Wingate Hotel in Illinois reported that guests had started calling in with complaints about loud screaming. The sound seemed to be coming from the second floor, specifically the room 209. Investigators discovered that this room had a history of strange occurrences. There were regular reports of loud screaming from this exact room. When the security manager entered the room, he found the furniture overturned and the carpet rolled up, but no one was present. As he left the room, a shadow seemed to follow him. How long would you stay in that hotel knowing that there was a screaming ghost in one of the rooms? A security guard had to take a second look when he saw this on his screen. A strange figure moving outside the building. But what is it? It's not an ordinary ghost or demon. It almost looks like it's hopping back and forth. According to some people, this is a pocong, a ghost that's part of Indonesian and Malay mythology. It's one of the most notorious spirits in these cultures, and it's said to be the soul of a deceased person doomed to wander the earth due to unfinished business. It's usually depicted as a human figure wrapped in a burial shroud, with small ropes binding the shroud to the body at the neck, arms, and legs. It's also known for its signature hopping movement, just like we see on the security camera. It's also believed to be able to travel distances ranging from 131 to 328 feet, and it's known to roll across the ground. In Indonesian and Malay folklore, the pocong is often associated with villages and is thought to wander at night, hopping around as if searching for something or someone.
The next terrifying incident left the residents of Billings, Montana shaken after capturing an intruder or ghost on their baby monitor. The incident left homeowners and local authorities baffled, searching for answers. The unsettling image shows a figure seemingly blending into the wallpaper with eerie, intensely glowing eyes. Is it a supernatural ghost or just a human intruder? When the homeowners discovered the disturbing image on their baby monitor, they immediately contacted the police. However, upon investigation, law enforcement found no signs of a break-in at the house. This made the photo truly unsettling, as the figure appeared to be translucent and had creepy glowing eyes. Some speculated that if the figure indeed was a ghost, this would have been the most convincing and well-captured paranormal photos ever seen. The incident also left homeowners in the local community unsettled. Rumors and theories circulated, ranging from stories of restless spirits to potential intruders with supernatural abilities. What do you think was captured on camera here? Let me know in the comments. What we see on this security camera is that a spirit appears to be coming out of someone's body. It probably can't get creepier than this. It's unclear which country or hospital this video footage was taken, but the video is from 2014, and it appears to show a person lying on a hospital bed. And what happens next is probably proof that a soul can actually leave the body. As we can see, a spirit entity seems to come out of the body. Some people say that this was the person's own soul. Could this really be possible? Of course, there were many people skeptical about the video footage, but there are many people in the comments who believe that this is real.
Little information is available about a terrifying incident captured by Officer Malik in California. On June 27, 2015, during a late-night shift, he came across a chilling scene that left many puzzled. Around midnight, he saw a woman standing in the middle of the road, illuminated by the flickering light of a nearby fire. The disturbing sight immediately caused concern for the officer. The woman seemed unfazed by the approaching police vehicle, and her demeanor was both strange and unsettling. It was speculated that she might have been under the influence of illicit substances, or involved in some sort of witchcraft. As Officer Malik recorded the scene, the woman stood motionless in front of the fire, her arms slowly raised. The flames danced around her, casting long shadows on the asphalt, creating a surreal and otherworldly atmosphere. It left viewers both fascinated and unnerved, with questions about what had brought her to that strange location at that hour.
In a quiet suburban neighborhood, a group of kids found themselves wrapped up in a mystery when they noticed some strange events happening outside their house. This moment would test their courage and bond like never before. It all started innocently enough when they suddenly saw strange sounds and creepy shadows moving outside in the dark. Curiosity got the better of them, and armed with smartphones, they decided to capture these bizarre incidents. Huddled close together, they pointed their cameras toward the dark abyss outside their windows, where they saw a figure lurking in the depths of the bushes. A chill ran down their spines as they realized they had encountered something beyond their wildest nightmares. Everyone ran away quickly, but one of them decided to grab a bat for protection. But by the time he returned, the creature had vanished without a trace. Babies typically sleep in their cribs, but in this case, the baby appears to be possessed and climbs on top of the crib. This toddler named Connor was captured on camera when the babysitter wasn't in the room. The baby climbed onto the crib railing, had glowing eyes, and according to the babysitter, had been screaming in the middle of the night. Connor's parents were also shocked and had no idea what happened to make their son look so possessed. Connor managed to balance himself on the side of the crib for an impressive 22 seconds before falling backward onto the mattress. Many people in the comments were terrified by this creepy scene, while others dismissed it as a sign of possession. The crying heard in the video only added to the chilling atmosphere. Some people suggested that Connor was being held in place by a benevolent spirit. It appeared though as if he was reaching out to be embraced by an invisible presence. What do you think Connor saw? A very sad statistic says that the number of people being pushed in front of trains increases every year. The next video footage was shown in the news and includes a moment where we see a woman walking toward a train. We can't show what happens next, but fortunately, this woman survived the terrifying moment. But sometimes things go wrong too. There are often multiple cameras in train stations, so the perpetrators won't get away with it so easily. In this case, the suspect was also immediately apprehended, and the woman was attended to by ambulance personnel.
In a city known for its peculiar sightings, a recent event has certainly caught attention. Recently, a striking green streak of light was seen shooting across the Las Vegas sky, rapidly descending toward the Earth. Just moments after this mysterious light was spotted, the police received a call reporting a non-human visitor in a local backyard. Witnesses described the figure as a large being, almost human in appearance. One of the responding officers reported to his partner he had also seen something fall from the sky, which further piqued their curiosity. Rumors began to spread, with some speculating about the possibility of extraterrestrial beings in the backyard. The responding officers conducted an investigation, but despite reports of a towering figure as tall as 10 feet, they found no trace of it. After the investigation, one officer joked that the family should call someone else if the giant being returned, but the bizarre incident left everyone in the neighborhood feeling quite anxious.
In the quiet solitude of a bedroom, a scene unfolds that looks straight out of a movie, capturing the poltergeist activity while a woman peacefully sleeps. Everything is recorded by a security camera installed in the bedroom. As the night progresses, the door creaks open eerily, and the rocking chair begins swaying as if moved by invisible hands. But then, inexplicably, something happens. Items on the shelves suddenly fall to a chaotic force caused by a poltergeist, violently throwing the books from their positions. The room becomes a battleground of the supernatural as the poltergeist power grows. Even the painting that once hung above the bed is ripped from its place. As abruptly as it started, the poltergeist rampage reaches its peak and retreats from the room. Maritza is a 32-year-old mother who had a terrifying experience when she saw the ghostly face of a baby staring back at her through a baby monitor. She had put her 18-month-old son to bed shortly before this. Initially, she dismissed it as a trick of her eyes and tried to ignore the unsettling image. However, as her discomfort grew, she couldn't sleep anymore and became increasingly disturbed by the creepy sighting. Determined to unravel the mystery, she armed herself with a flashlight and quietly entered her son's room, carefully inspecting his surroundings. She felt around his crib hoping to find an explanation for the ghostly phenomenon. However, her search yielded no answers, leaving her in confusion and tension. Could there be a ghost attached to her son? It wasn't until the morning that she could potentially uncover the paranormal incident. Upon opening the curtains and inspecting her son's room, she discovered a sticker with a baby's face on it underneath the bed. She realized that she had never noticed the sticker because she always used a mattress protector, which her husband had forgotten to put on the night before. Could this solve the mystery, or is there something more sinister at play here? We've already shown you some creepy videos of wheelchairs moving and red balloons chasing hospital staff, but after watching this video footage from a hospital in Argentina, you can almost be sure that ghosts really do haunt hospitals. The video was taken by the hospital's security camera, and at the beginning, you see a bed moving from side to side, which is certainly not caused by the wind. In fact, the bed moves by itself and eventually falls over, which is hard to explain. However, if you're a skeptical person, you probably think it was the wind. But if you look closely at the plants, they don't move. Only the bed. And this was not the first time paranormal things were recorded at this hospital. When a man walked out to throw away the trash, he saw that another bed was moving on its own. Very creepy. And you can't blame the man for running off quickly.
In October 2020, police officers reported witnessing a series of disturbing events, including flickering lights and flying clothes. They even found the family's dog, which usually played outside, suddenly on top of a 6.5-foot or 2-meter high hedge. In 2016, a family had to leave their home due to a series of terrifying experiences that they had attributed to a supernatural force. Officers were called after the family had experienced strange occurrences for 2 days. Upon arrival, officers saw clothes scattered across the room with lights mysteriously hanging upside down, after the lights were turned back on. A police source who wished to remain anonymous told a local newspaper that these events were observed by the officers themselves. Even officers with more than 20 years of service had said that they'd never seen anything like it. Could you imagine a poltergeist so frightening that even seasoned officers are scared of it?
This TikTok story unfolds over multiple videos, with the account owner, Nick Simone68. In an extensive introduction, he shares with his viewers the discovery of a secret door in his parents' house. Initially, it looks like an ordinary attic door, but it revealed a surprising find. He discovered a bag filled with old hospital documents, as well as papers and receipts dating back to the 60s and 80s. These receipts are prescriptions for a range of mental illnesses. The name King Park Cedric Hospital is written on them. And by further investigating the patient labels found in the bag, Nick reveals that the hauntings in this house have intensified. His mother begins seeing people in the hallways, while his sister experiences strange occurrences. Objects inexplicably fall off shelves, and remarkably, the paranormal activity even seems to follow Nick to his workplace. In one particularly eerie moment, Nick manages to capture a mysterious shadowy figure on one of his doorways, although he insists he didn't notice the figure while filming. Pareidolia is a psychological phenomenon, meaning you see familiar patterns in random things. Possible malfunctions in electronic devices could explain the appearance on the baby monitor. That being said, you can't deny the power of someone's gut feeling that there's another presence in the house. This video comes from a woman named Jade, a resident of Australia who was distressed after having a ghostly encounter through her baby monitor. It leaves you wondering whether it's a ghost or something else. As Jade watched her daughter Ruby sleep peacefully, a shadowy figure suddenly appeared on the screen. Astonished, Jade later confirmed that the door was closed and no one else was present in the room. What made this encounter particularly fascinating was the apparent serenity of the spiritual presence. The figure seemed to exude a reassuring aura while gazing at the sleeping baby. However, Jade expressed reassurance that the spiritual being was indeed watching over her child. She even noted that it seemed as if the figure was gently stroking the baby's head. In Jade's interpretation, this benevolent presence could be a deceased family member, possibly a grandmother or a great-grandmother taking on the role of a caregiver. Not many people believe in the paranormal, but when you see it with your own eyes, you want to show it to other people. This situation occurred in Mexico City, on the underground train, and it was like a scene from a movie. The video footage shows a man dressed in a suit and a woman screaming like crazy. It appears that the man is performing an exorcism, and people on the crowded train are shocked to see it. This video was posted on Facebook and was viewed more than 1 million times. The video then shows the man in suit praying for the woman, who keeps screaming, and we can assume she would be possessed. The man says, "In the name of Jesus, go away. You have to leave." The scene gets crazier and crazier. We can't say for sure whether it was set up or not, but bizarre it certainly was.
This video was recorded by an officer patrolling an office building at night. In this particular building, he and his colleagues have observed multiple frightening phenomena in the hallways over the past few months. Whenever something mysterious happens, they make it a point to record their experiences, and this evening was no different. As the officer begins his shift, he hears what sounds like someone talking, with noises seemingly coming from near the elevator. The unsettling sounds draw him closer, and he walks over to the elevator, hoping to identify the source of the noise. Upon closer inspection, however, he finds no trace of anyone behind the elevator wall. But as he looks further, he notices something strange. A piece of fabric or dark shadow appears to sway gently, almost as if beckoning him. This odd movement gives him chills, and he can't shake the feeling that he's witnessing something supernatural. Given the history of unexplained events in the building, the officer is convinced that what he's experiencing is paranormal in nature. He considers the possibility that no one is playing a prank on him and thinks this might indeed be a manifestation of something supernatural.
In this surreal video, a creepy goat moves around. Its hind legs supported its weight while its front legs dangle limply by its sides. Its movements betray a confusing sense of loss, as if its soul had been whisked away. Some believe the goat is being controlled by a supernatural force. Others speculate that this goat may have undergone specialized training, similar to the methods used in circuses. They suggest the purpose of this training is to herd chickens, much like how circus animals perform gracefully under their trainer's guidance. But goats aren't just any animals. The association between goats and the devil has deep roots in mythology, folklore, and religious symbolism. In various cultures and belief systems, goats are linked to satanic imagery and representations. In folklore and fairy tales, there are also stories depicting goats as creatures created by the devil himself. In this next video, a person captured an unexplained light on the baby monitor, hovering just above the children's beds. The light seemed to have no clear pattern of movement, and cast an eerie glow in the otherwise dark room. Strangely, the light was only visible through the baby monitor feed, and remained elusive when viewed in person. Even more mysteriously, the light would also retreat when the parents attempted to view it with their own eyes. Bewildered, they left the room, and just as mysteriously, the light reappeared when they checked the baby monitor again. What makes the situation even creepier is that the baby monitor was connected to 2 separate cameras in different rooms. The mysterious light exclusively manifested in the room where the children were sleeping, hovering above them and swaying back and forth. To make the situation even eerier, the person shared their beloved mother had passed away just 22 days earlier. Before she died, the father had asked her to watch over all 13 grandchildren and 20 great-grandchildren. Could this be her? What do you think? In this video, we see a man filming a corridor in an unknown hospital somewhere in Honduras. It's hard to explain exactly what we're seeing here, but it appears to be a creature or ghost looking around the corner of one of the rooms. After seeing the video footage, many people assumed it was a ghost, but if so, it's a very unusual ghost, as it seems to have a strange transparent color. Other people in the comments thought it might be an alien because it had an egg-shaped head. There was also speculation that strange experiments were going on at this hospital. What I personally wonder is why the people were cautiously looking around a corner of the room. Probably they don't want to be noticed. Unfortunately, we can't find any more info about this video, so I'll leave it to you whether you think it's real.
Standing alone on a hill is the abandoned Northville Psychiatric Hospital, which is said to be haunted. Each Halloween season, thrill seekers are drawn to the decaying steps of this old institution, enticed by the eerie allure of the building. However, news reporter Andrea Isom warns that visitors should be cautious. The figures you encounter there aren't wearing costumes. The Northville Psychiatric Hospital, often called Forbidden City, is shrouded in mystery and curiosity, attracting the imagination of those brave enough to explore its abandoned walls. With padded walls, shadowy corners, vacant rooms, and leftover patient files, wheelchairs, and leather straps, this atmosphere resembles that of a horror movie. Despite enforcement against trespassers, thrill seekers continue to roam the site year-round. Around Halloween, hundreds of people are drawn to the grounds, even despite the hazards like debris, broken glass, and asbestos in the air, making it a risky place to even explore.
A Russian man was tired of being stalked by a strange figure or creature and decided to film what happens next. According to the story, they had heard noises, and then it was silent for a while before he returned to the basement. When he returned, he filmed the creature as it began exploring the basement, searching through the clutter. At the height of the video, he encounters the creature hiding behind a remote section. The person who filmed the video doesn't just call it a creature. Achepshi are 12 inches tall humanoid beings or goblins that inhabit abandoned houses, barns, forests, and tall grass. While they are most common in sparsely populated villages, they can also be found near large cities. The presence of this creature in a house, as seen in this video, can be noticed by various signs. For example, subtle knocks on the roof, strange rustling, grinding noises, and other unusual auditory phenomena. Their squeaks resemble the creepy echoes of bats, and their eyes manifest as blinking lights in the dark. Although these creatures aren't inherently aggressive, they have the ability to emit terrifying shrieks in a supernatural voice.
Here we have another video in which a baby monitor captures eerie sounds. The person in the video mentioned that they regularly hear strange music coming from this device. Listen for yourself. Despite troubleshooting, the creepy music persisted, often coinciding with their baby waking up. The parents also diligently searched their child's room, only to find that the toys capable of making noise had their batteries removed. With no logical explanation, the parents' imagination began to wander, wondering if their baby was a secret piano prodigy hiding a piano under the bed. Or, the more plausible reasoning, a ghost was playing music for their child. Interference from external sources, such as neighboring electronic devices or radio waves, could potentially be responsible for the unusual music. It's possible that the baby monitor was picking up signals from nearby devices and accidentally transmitting the sounds through its speakers. Another possibility is a technical defect with the baby monitor itself. Flaws or malfunctions in the device's circuitry can cause it to generate random sounds or pick up signals from unexpected sources. However, what's strange is that even if the baby monitor were accidentally tuned into the frequency of another device, such as a radio, the music appears to come from a moving source. Well, if you thought the rush hour in Japan was intense, here's a look at what happens in China. This is a subway in Beijing, and it's only 1 p.m., but as you can see, the station is already super crowded, and when the train stops, the craziness begins. It seems that the crowd waiting outside didn't even give the people on the train a chance to get off. For most people, standing among such a large crowd to enter a train would be quite annoying. If you're not careful, you could also fall or get trampled by the mass of people. But it seems that people in China know how to behave in crowded places. Still, it remains pretty hard to believe. Don't you agree? A police chase is only effective as long as the suspect remains in the car and doesn't disappear suddenly, leaving the car behind. In this next video, police officers were chasing a van, and when they came to a stop, they found no one behind the wheel. This raises a chilling question. Where did the driver go? As you process the situation, it begins to dawn on you. Perhaps the driver is hiding in the back of the vehicle. But upon closer inspection, it turns out that no one's in the driver or passenger seats. The situation is reminiscent of a scene from a crime drama where the police regularly stop vehicles under suspicious circumstances. In those fictional stories, the tension builds as the officers approach the vehicle, only to discover that the occupant had vanished without a trace. In this case, it seems that whoever was in the van didn't have time to escape or quickly get away, leading you to wonder if perhaps it was a ghost.
This man received coordinates to investigate a house, and the sender claimed that elderly people once inhabited the property. He shared stories of disturbing occurrences, mainly focused on the basement of the house. The previous residents allegedly endured a barrage of unexplained noises, disconnected conversations, and doors defying logic by opening on their own. Armed with a flashlight, the man began exploring the vacant property, placing cameras in the rooms to capture any potential activity. At this point, the atmosphere took a chilling turn. A piece of glass inexplicably slid off the counter, crashing to the floor with a thundering clatter. The room began shaking and trembling,
while objects were hurled around by an unseen force. Strangely, the disturbance seemed confined to this specific area, as the rest of the house remained untouched, ruling out the possibility of an earthquake. Despite the increasing discomfort, the man decided to use a device in hopes of making contact with any wandering spirits within the house. To his unsettling surprise, he received a message urging him to reveal the secrets hidden in the basement. When he did, a blood-curdling scream pierced the air. Listen. Aware of the looming danger, he wisely retreated from the basement, unwilling to discover the source of the terrifying sound. Several psychology professors suggest that heightened parental anxiety about their newborn's safety can influence their perception of ghostly images. When people are very vigilant, their minds can play tricks on them, making them interpret ordinary events as supernatural. For example, when looking at this next photo, what do you see in this picture? Is it a sleep demon or a ghost? Or is it just your imagination? These parents from Los Angeles were startled when they discovered ghostly spots hovering around their sleeping baby. What would you do in a similar situation? Natalie and her husband, who saw the pink and purple spots on their baby's crib through their baby monitor, found it difficult to attribute these spots to movement. According to them, the spots also seemed to have a life of their own. Natalie recalls that when she first noticed the apparitions, her baby was in a deep sleep, making the mystery surrounding the incident even greater. What do you think these spots are? The result of an overactive parent's imagination, or something darker? Here we see a Russian patient who would have been one of the participants of the Russian sleep experiment. The Russian sleep experiment was a scientific experiment conducted by the USSR in the 1940s. The idea was to keep participants from sleeping for about 30 days. It was revealed that the researchers took political prisoners and locked them in a gas chamber for 15 days. The reason for this is because they had to keep the subjects awake. It seems that the person in the video may be one of those political prisoners of this experiment. Pretty disturbing, because in the video footage we see a skinny person who looks starved. At one point, he sits down on the floor next to the hospital bed and looks completely lost. However, some people in the comments say that this video footage cannot be real. The case known as the Garden City Ghost Mystery first appeared online in 2006. While patrolling through Garden City, Georgia, a police officer saw a car driving recklessly. When the police tried to pull the car over, it accelerated, leading to a high-speed chase. The officer caught only a brief glimpse of the driver, who then began swerving on the road. After a long chase, the police officer steered the car into a field that ended at a closed gate, but the driver miraculously drove straight through the gate. When the video footage was posted online, many viewers believed that the police had accidentally captured a paranormal event. What caught people's attention was the mysterious appearance of the driver, leading some to speculate that it was a ghost car. Where did he go? What do you think? What happens after a store like this closes? This store was already rumored to be haunted, but when the owners decided to install CCTV cameras to monitor the space, they were in for a shock. During the quiet hours of closing time, the camera captured a series of events, including office chairs mysteriously moving and items falling off the shelves. Everything was recorded from multiple angles and by several cameras. It was as if an invisible presence was playing with the store's belongings. But the weirdness didn't stop there. As the night progressed, a mannequin encased in a glass box suddenly sprang to life. Its lifeless eyes seemed to glisten with an eerie energy. Many viewers now embrace the terrifying idea that this store is indeed haunted, as the rumors had long suggested. According to the story, a mother had just put her child to bed and was quietly trying to leave the room. But you might be wondering, why is she on the floor? Well, unfortunately, we don't know the answer to that. And it's indeed strange behavior, almost as if the woman's being possessed by something supernatural. Could it be that a demon is at play here? Analyzing the situation, we see a crib with the baby, a stuffed tent, and an open door in the room, all captured by a security camera focused on the room. However, why the eerie woman with glowing eyes appears to be crawling on her back across the floor remains unclear, but it's certainly creepy. The next video footage is terrifying, as it shows a severe earthquake in Mexico City. It was the Puebla earthquake that occurred in 2017, with an estimated magnitude of 7.1. The earthquake had a strong shaking for up to 20 seconds. Even though 20 seconds doesn't seem like much, it greatly frightened the people who arrived on this train. A mass of people began rushing towards the exit. Some people started pushing each other, which made the situation worse because everyone panicked. No wonder people were panicking, because the earthquake was so strong that the train just shook like a toy. As the video footage went viral online, some viewers began discussing whether it was safer to stay on the train or just run away. What do you think? In the following video footage, a patrolling officer captures a disturbing scene as he notices strange movements on the side of a house. The eerie atmosphere at the location is palpable, and the officer feels compelled to investigate further. As he gets closer, he begins to notice shadows moving along the exterior walls, creating an unsettling feeling of unease. While the officer continues to observe, he hears strange, disembodied laughter echoing through the night, a sound that seems completely out of place in the otherwise quiet surroundings. This raises the question, could these be manifestations of a poltergeist? Poltergeists are often described as malicious or mischievous spirits, notorious for their ability to move objects, or even create unexplained noises, and sometimes even cause physical harm. Historically, poltergeist activities have been reported worldwide, often characterized by unexplained disturbances that can escalate to more aggressive manifestations. It's often believed that these spirits are connected to emotional turmoil or unresolved issues from the past, leading to the chaos they create. Get ready to lose sleep over footage of an Aswang in an empty room, moving back and forth, giving everyone chills. But what exactly is an Aswang? In case you're not familiar with the terrifying legend, in the world of the Filipino folklore, the Aswang appears in a spine-chilling shape. The Aswang appears as a spine-chilling, shape-shifting entity, embodying the traits of vampires, ghouls, and witches. The Aswang's fearsome reputation dates back centuries, with Spanish colonists noting it as the most feared of the mythical creatures in the Philippines. Its appearance and characteristics vary across regions, making it a creature of diverse descriptions and interpretations. Some believe that making eye contact with this creature can reveal its presence, as one's reflection may appear upside down. Others claim that a special oil, which boils in the presence of an Aswang, can serve as a detection method. One reason for the fear associated with these creatures is their alleged ability to transfer their supernatural powers to others. It's believed that if the creature places its mouth close to someone else's, that person will eventually become one of them. If we're to believe these video images, someone captured a real Aswang on camera. But what happened afterward remains unclear. Let's hope the person behind the camera is alright. In a chilling video that's recently surfaced, a baby monitor captures a series of strange and unsettling sounds, causing viewers to feel quite uneasy. The sound is difficult to describe, as it has a creepy and animalistic quality, reminiscent of possessed dolls. Just take a listen.
Stop! Please!
As you heard, the sounds resemble a mix between an animal's growl and an alien's cry. For many, this sound would have sent shivers down their spines. The person behind the camera quickly became distressed by the sounds, with fear and confusion clearly visible. This makes you wonder about the origin of the sound. Speculations about the video are running wild, with theories ranging from a malfunctioning baby monitor to supernatural or extraterrestrial intervention. Some viewers even draw parallels to chilling tales of possessed electronic devices. Would you simply throw away this baby monitor hoping it solves the problem, or would you consider moving? The next video from 2014 comes from a security camera somewhere in a hospital or mortuary in India. As we can see, there are a number of people lying on the floor. But what they managed to capture on camera here is pretty terrifying. At one point, a blackish creature flies by. If we're to believe the uploader of the video, the ghostly figure came from a morgue. Do you believe that lost souls linger in the places where they left their bodies? Or what do you think happens to your soul after you die? It sounds logical that paranormal events are observed in hospitals and morgues, but whether this video is real, I have no idea. I'll leave it up to you to decide.
Do you want to become a police officer? Let me know in the comments. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more videos we've made, click one on the screen or take a look at the channel. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.